Hello everyone, hope you're having a wonderful night. So if you're as old as me, you probably have seen your share of third-party controllers when it comes to your favorite gaming console. I remember the Mad Catz controller with the turbo button, which allowed you to dominate in Mario Party or in other games that were very difficult, or you know your hand would get tired, so just using that option was quicker. But it also offered cheaper alternatives for people who had fixed incomes, because the official controller was either too expensive, so there was a third party that was like 50% less. So it offered people a lot of different options for controllers, and for the most part, console manufacturers didn't give a damn. They did warn you against it, but for the most part, no one really cared because they were basic functions. Like, controllers were really basic back in the day. Nowadays, we have HD rumble, adaptive triggers, wireless capabilities, Bluetooth capabilities, which allows you to use the controller between PC and your console. So they have become a lot more advanced, and because of that, the prices have ballooned. One of my biggest issues is also the fact that you can't really get a wired version of an official controller unless you go through a third party like Razer. That's the whole reason I got this controller, because it's wired, and I hate wireless controllers because, you know, I don't remember to charge them, the battery eventually does die, and then you have to recycle the battery. It's just a whole issue. And I've also found that wireless controllers don't degrade as quick. At least that's my opinion. But it seems that Microsoft is cracking down on third-party accessories, and starting November, you won't be able to use them unless they are authorized by Microsoft. And I think the real reason behind this is, one, cheating software, because controllers, like I said, have become a lot more advanced, and people will actually program cheating software or alter their controller by finding YouTube videos in order to give them an advantage in online games, and that can be discouraging for the larger community. The other thing is, like, they just don't want people messing with their product, which can be in the negative for right of repair. It is your controller, you're free to do whatever you want with it, but you know, there's always a give and take here. So let's read this article from Windows Central, who has compiled it from Microsoft's official page. What you need to know: from November 12, 2023, Microsoft will no longer allow unauthorized third-party accessories to be used on its Xbox consoles. So these are the official controllers that you can like get on Xbox. So, you know, they cost around $55. Not that expensive, but it also means that if you want to go out of your way to find something that's very cheap, you're probably not going to be able to use it. You're going to have to get one of these controllers. But there is a decent array from PowerA, Afterglow, Razer controllers, Hyperkin, so you have a decent selection. I think this is the cheapest option, $38, PowerA, but PowerA tends to be the cheaper option. I've used them. They feel cheap, but they work. Like, they work. Players are reporting a warning message displaying on Xbox when plugging in an unauthorized accessory, notifying them of the date their accessories will be blocked with an error that code. So it's not just controllers, it's any accessory, which balloons the problem, meaning that if you get, like, say maybe a headset that's not authorized by Microsoft, that it will be blocked unless they get certification. And again, I think this is also just to make sure that they know what you're using, which, you know, can be a little, you know, it's a little annoying, because, you know, if you get a product that works for the console through the same functionality, you should be able to use it. But I can see both sides of this argument, because I only buy official Xbox products because it gives you a sense of security, because you know that this Microsoft has tested or at least authorized this to be used on their console. So if anything happens to the console because you plugged in this controller or this accessory, you know, they're liable in the sense that they have to say, hey, I plugged this into my Series X or something, it doesn't work, what the hell. So there are a lot of like give and takes when it comes to this stuff. Xbox advises running the accessories and instead referring to its list of authorized products on its website. The message is shown due to the latest console build. So technically, if you don't update your console, I guess you can circumvent this. But eventually, when you go online, they're going to force you to do that, which is said to be causing console issues when using third-party accessories. Update: heard from sources familiar with Microsoft's plans that this may be related to Xbox expanding its program for approved third-party wireless controllers. Most third-party controllers right now are wired. Are they? I know my Razer is, but yeah. Windows Central has reached out to Microsoft for comment. I mean, it would make sense if they want to expand the controllers to wired, because like I said, official Xbox controllers getting a wired controller is like so painful. So most people go to third party, and this would ensure that they can keep making wireless controllers without having to diversify and create two separate product lines. Just, hey, you want a wired controller, go to this third party, we're not making that. In a significant development for Xbox users, the era of tinkering with your console to use unapproved accessories drawn to a close. Yeah, it's very difficult to do it. I'm sure a lot of us have seen YouTube videos of people like running homebrewed software on their Xbox. In fact, the Xbox 360 was one of the most difficult consoles to create homebrewed software and jailbreak the console. I believe that it took someone finding a development kit at a third party in order to actually break the console's like security measures. But yeah, I can see like they just don't want, they want to have more control over the console, which can be hit or miss. On one hand, it offers better security. On the other hand, it limits your freedom of what you can do with the product that you own. Like, I always try to look at both perspectives instead of just saying this is wrong and this is right. Xbox has taken a definite stance by instituting a new policy that will block the use of unauthorized accessories with its consoles effective of November 17. This decision has already begun to reverberate among the gaming community, and many have already had a warning about it on their consoles in the form of an error message. So this is the message: using unauthorized accessory compromises your gaming experience. No, it doesn't. 4 reasons the unauthorized accessory will be blocked from November 12, 2023 for helping return a check with the store it came from the contact of the manufacturer. Yeah, they're not going to take it back. They're going to be like, you purchased it, you're on your own. They're going to be like, why would we take this back? It doesn't work anymore. Yeah, you're on your own. They're not taking that back. Unless you bought it from like, say, Best Buy or Amazon, they would probably be a little more amicable when it comes to that stuff. But yeah, we just read that. I'm speed reading through it. It's just basically a summary of everything that's happening here. But regardless, I can see both sides from this. The idea of like, hey, you can only buy it from these list of authorized retailers, which limits your option, especially when it comes to manufacturers who want to make specialized controllers. Now they're going to have to go through this certification process in order to get it. But it also lends a lot of security that's saying, hey, we went through Microsoft. They said this is okay. We will make you a specialized controller, because there are controllers that go up to $300 that are apparently very elite. At least I've never seen a really good elite controller that costs that much. One of my friends bought the Dr. Disrespect elite controller, and he let me use it, and I was just like, this doesn't really feel that different from a standard controller. Maybe it's something I don't know. Like, again, I have the Razer Elite controller, and yeah, it's the best controller I've ever had. And I used to buy the Turtle Beach controllers, but those things are really prone to failure. Like, I would use it for like 2 to 3 months, and then it would start drifting and start having issues with input commands. So I thought it was a good controller because it was only $50, but those things broke so damn easily. They felt very cheap, but the Razer controller has my approval. This thing has lasted over 2 years with me. I've dropped this controller on several occasions. I've used this on my PC and my console constantly, so definitely approve the Razer controller. But what do you think about this? Like, I like to hear everyone's individual opinion. Like, personally speaking, I don't see this as a really detrimental issue, but I can see this from someone who has a fixed income who says, hey, I went to like a third party person, like a flea market or something, and they sold me this controller for 20 bucks. That works. It does everything that it's supposed to do. Like, it doesn't have HD rumble or any of those fancy features, but it works. Like, the A button works, the thumbsticks work. That's the only thing I can see as a problem about that. Like, people who get cheap controllers for the sake of budgetary reasons. But I also see it on the other side with people who buy illegal controllers with homebrew software for them to cheat in online games. I'm venomously against that. I don't like people who cheat because it just ruins the entire experience. You can do that in co-op games or in like single player games. I don't give a damn about that. But online competitive games, yeah, it's very scummy because it creates an aura of deceit, because you will never know whether the person got lucky, if the person is better than you. You'll always assume the first thing that comes to your mind is cheating. Like when I had a clip of someone shooting me through a wall in Call of Duty. Some people said he was cheating, some people said he wasn't. And yeah, it always comes down to that. But I think this is just also Microsoft trying to control what goes on in their systems. But tell me what you think in the comments below. You want people to be aware of this, so if you have a third-party controller that's not listed here and you're getting that message, this is the reason. So like, dislike, whatever you feel like. That's me signing out. Goodbye.